What if your OSPF network was silently dropping traffic and you didn't know why? In this lab, I'll show you how to fix OSPF multi-area routing in minutes, plus the deadly mistake that makes areas invisible to each other. Want to master OSPF like a Cisco Pro? Let's dive in. In this practice lab, we will configure an OSPF routing protocol with multiple areas. On this topology, we have Router 1, which is part of the OSPF area 0. Its router ID is configured in 3 times 0.1. At the other end, we have Router 3, with the OSPF to configure in area 1. Its ID is 3 times 0.3. The middle router, Router 2, is not configured. We will configure OSPF with area 0 on the left side and area 1 on the right side, so that it can see its two neighbors correctly. Because currently, if we do a show IP OSPF neighbor, he doesn't see any OSPF neighbors. And it can't join the loopback of Router 3 either, if you ping IP 10.1.13.1. So let's start by enabling OSPF with an ID of 10. By giving it a router OSPF 10, we put it as router ID, the 3 times 0.2, and we add the 10.0 POW 0.0 network with an inverted mask in 2 times 0 and 255.255 for the 0 area as well as for router 1. And we do the same on the right side, except that we specify the network in area 1. The logs confirm that from now on, the two networks attached to router 2 do have an OSPF adjacency. If we do a show IP OSPF neighbor to him, router 2 can see these two neighbors well, and if we reping to IP 10.1.13.1, this time, the loopback 0 of router 3 is reachable. The show IP protocols command allows you to check the routing protocols and to display all their parameters. Here, we can see the configuration of the OSPF routing, which carries process 10. Its router ID is 3 times 0.2, and we see all the networks which participate in the OSPF exchanges. You can even see the different OSPF areas. Here, router 2 can route network 10.0.0.0 in area 0 and network 10.1.0.0 in area 1. You can also go and see the details of the routes with the command show IP route OSPF. Here, the two networks that are represented by the letter O for OSPF are the loopback networks of routers 1 and 3. Roughly speaking, Router 2 has 2 networks that are directly connected to it and 2 networks that belong to virtual addresses. If the same command is not executed on Router 1, we can see his 2 networks connected to him, that of the loopback 0 and that of the link between routers 1 and 2, as well as networks that are not directly connected to it, in the link between routers 2 and 3. As well as that of the loopback 0 of router 3. Router 2 does not have a loopback interface configured. We're going to finish the practical work with the 2 letters that we see just after the acronym O for OSPF. These 2 letters, IA, mean that they are networks that are part of another area. Here we are in area 0, and at the end it is area 1. The practical work on the OSPF areas is over. Save your configuration before exiting Packet Tracer.